What's up, everyone? Mark here, and with it being almost Christmas, I wanted to show you guys some gift wrapping tips with an emphasis on what you can kind of do working with the minimum and even some last-minute gift ideas and gift wrapping ideas. So the first tip I'm going to give you is to just be prepared overall, right? Have a few things around. Have some gift bags, at least a few gift bags, and some tissue paper. If nothing else, this will get you by 90% of the time. So with that in mind, we're going to do a couple of quick how-tos on how to properly wrap a gift for a gift bag. I mean, it might seem simple enough, right? You throw it in the bag and you put some tissue paper in there, but there's a little bit of rhyme and reason to it so that it's not quite so obvious what the item is, and just to make it look kind of nice. So we're going to do a couple of examples here. So for the first one, let's do something small, right? So we've got like a little plush toy here. Something like this, you can usually get away with just one piece of tissue paper. We're going to kind of roll it around on itself so that it's kind of folded in and it's all kind of wrapped up and covered on all sides. And then just bring the excess up to the top there. And this just gets dropped down into our gift bag. Fluff out the top. And another tip is curling ribbon. Curling ribbon is super cheap. Just get a spool of it that's got multiple colors on it, and you've got something for any time you need. So let's do, with this one, a little bit of red and a little bit of gold. I like to make these little tabs. Take a little piece of clear tape, a short piece, fold over one end of it so that it's not sticky and it's you can handle it on both sides, and just use that to stick down the end of the ribbon. When you need to use it, you peel it off, stick it on the end of the tube, cut what you need. When you're done, stick it back in place. All right, so let's do a little bit of red and a little bit of gold on this one. I'm just going to take the two pieces together, thread them through the handle on the bag, tie it once, and tie it twice. Now, if you have trouble curling ribbon, then, this looks okay as it is. There's no shame in that. But it's not like it's that hard to curl ribbon either. So just take your scissors, holding it with one of the blades with the flat side up, not the chiseled side. We're going to take one of our strands of ribbon, and we're going to hold the blade on the inside of the curl. It's usually the more dull or non-shiny or flat kind of matte side. And we're going to hold the ribbon against the blade with our thumb and pull up. There we go. Do the other one here. There we go. Super easy, and it just makes it look a little bit nicer. But again, you do not have to do this. And there we go. Little gift bag, little tissue paper, a little ribbon. Not bad at all. And these are all just cheap things that you can have laying around. Another one, a little bit bigger. So you got everybody's favorite last minute gift, the Yankee Candle, and the Yankee Candle car scents dangle thing. So you want these two things to kind of go together in a bag. This is not hard either. You just need a larger bag and a couple more sheets of tissue paper. So this one I'm going to use this nice green glittery piece. Came in a multicolored pack of tissue paper. We're going to start by wrapping each of these things in its own individual piece of tissue paper. So the candle and the car freshener separately. Hold up. That is a start. Now, I'm going to take our larger bag. Okay, I'm going to take one sheet of white and one sheet of green. Do the candle first. Kind of pick these pieces up. Do the same thing here, except we're going to tuck the other one into the green once it's in the bag. Okay. Take another piece. Car freshener, and tuck that in right next to the candle. Some of your colored paper sticking up. And again, we'll do the curling ribbon. We'll use green on this one since we've got green tissue paper. And just like before, we'll hold our two strands of ribbon together and tie off our bag. And just like before, we're going to curl. Pinch the ribbon against the flat side of the blade and pull up. And there we go. Now obviously you can use more strands of ribbon if you want to have a fuller looking ribbon and curl. That's totally up to you. But you know, not bad. Two very basic wrapped gifts with just tissue paper, gift bags, and very cheap ribbon. Reuse bags that you've received, especially if the name tag is just a little piece of paper or thing tied to the you know, to the handles. As long as there's nothing written on the bag itself, and even if there is, you can put a sticker tag right over it. So, you know, always save gift bags. Save them from different types of occasions too. You know, these are more Christmas themed, obviously, but you can save more plain. I like to save the ones that don't specifically say something about a holiday. They don't say happy birthday. They don't say Merry Christmas. Sometimes, you know, they might have some imagery that's associated with the holiday, but a lot of times it's just kind of a plain design that's suitable for really any occasion. That just makes it a little bit easier. You don't have to have a ton of bags around. All right, so if you can master the gift bag, then you can master wrapping paper. Similarly with wrapping paper, you know, buy it around the holidays when it's cheaper, and buy patterns like this that don't really, you know, scream Christmas necessarily. You know, you can use this for just about any occasion. Again, I like, you know, nice, fun patterned papers that aren't necessarily holiday specific. The other trick is when you have an empty roll, cut the tube up and slice it down the side, and you can use that as a sleeve to kind of hold your paper together so it doesn't unravel all over the place. You can stand these tubes up in a tote or a box, and super easy to store this way. So then, wrapping a gift that's in a box. Save boxes, first of all. I save lots of my boxes that I get with my Amazon deliveries, for example. Not all of them, but when I get a new or odd size box, I'll flatten it down and save it. They don't take up a lot of space when you flatten them. Keep them in the closet or in the basement. I like these smaller boxes too because they're perfect for gifts. And in particular, these harder boxes that things sometimes come in with a nice tight fitting lid, these make great gift boxes because they're just so resistant to being crushed. So let's neatly wrap this in paper. It'll look professional, and you won't have to try really hard, I promise. So you can see I've cut this paper oversized. It's much bigger than what we need. And it's not exactly clean edges either. You don't have to worry about neatness. It's jagged as heck. So what I want to do though is fold one of these edges over to make a nice clean hemline. Okay. Now I'm going to get a piece of tape. So I'm going to pull this nice hemline up until I can get it to meet the edge of the box. Right there. Perfect. Now I'm going to take the other edge, bring this over and pull it tight, and then just tape it lightly to the box. Now when I bring this edge over, it's going to be perfectly right at the corner. If you want to make this look even more neat, you can use double-sided tape On the underside here, you won't even see the tape on the outside of the package. I'm not too worried about that, so I'm just going to use regular clear tape here. Now, there's obviously too much on the sides. Just chop off some of that excess. Again, not being very neat. Just to make it a little bit more manageable. Now, to close up the sides, you want to fold in like this. It's easier to do this kind of down on the table because you can fold in and then you can fold this down. Flip it over and do the same thing. Okay, see, so it's like that. Now, I'm going to take one flap and fold that up. I'm going to take the other flap, fold it up to the back of the box, make a crease like that, so that that crease lines up with the back of the box. I'm going to tape that. Now if you want to, you can even line it up so that that flap and this seam happens in the same place where you did the seam here, so that you have a nice no seam on the whole top of the box. So now that we've got that side done, we're going to kind of pinch along that line. Making the lines along the edges of your box crisp is part of what will make it look professional. And on the other side, we're going to do the exact same thing. It's a little bit easier to do now that we can stand the box up this way. I'm going to try and do this on the side to see if it's a little bit more clear, but I'm going to fold this in. Just like that. And we want to match this side, so the flap folds this way, so we're going to want this one to go in last. I'll cut off excess. Fold this guy down over here, over that edge, back in. And you have a beautifully wrapped box. Now, if you want to go so far as to put ribbon on this too, not that much harder to do. This one, let's do gold. We'll do one strand to make this easy, but you know, you can certainly do 2, 3, or even more. I'm gonna pull off a longer piece here. And there's a couple of ways that you can do this to make it fancy. One, and the one that you're probably most familiar with, is the crisscross. So we're going to put the ribbon down, and then we're going to put the gift wrong side up, so the flaps are facing up. The good side that we want to be presentable is on the other side. So we're going to bring our ribbon up and try to get it as even as we can on both sides. We're going to bring it up and cross them over each other. Like this. And I'm going to make that X and come back around to the front. And now you can tie this off at the point where it crosses the first piece of ribbon. And if you need to, you can always tape a little bit of ribbon down just to help hold it in place while you tie. curl. And then, of course, again, more strands of ribbon would be more curls on the front. Now, if you want to take the game up even more, big bag of pre-made sticky bows. I have no problem using these whatsoever. Cut your bag open at the corner, just so that it doesn't bust open and you got bows all over the place. Makes it a little bit easier to store. They don't all tend to fall out because they kind of clog together. You can reach in and grab what you want. Make sure you're getting the right color. I'll go with that gold guy. I also have a little Ziploc bag in here that has the tiny bows, because you never know. You might want to put a tiny bow on a tiny package. Easier just to keep this in here so all my bows are together. Peel that off. There we go. How professional does that look? Okay. Last minute ideas. So, we did the Yankee Candle. That's a great last minute idea. But things that you can have around in case you need them. Gift cards are great, right? Dunkin' gift cards, what I usually end up giving one here for Iggy's Doughboys. Other gifts, Tile, the little Bluetooth tracker for your keychain, so you can find it with your phone. Nice little $20 or so gifts. Have them around. Just pre-buy a few gift cards, pre-buy a few tiles, a few inexpensive gifts that you can just have in a box. Keep them even, where you keep your gift wrapping stuff, and then you've always got something to give. Now, what if you are really, really super stuck for an idea to wrap, let's say, your gift card? You have a toilet paper roll. I know you all have toilet paper because you've been buying it since the beginning of the pandemic. But the toilet paper roll is actually the perfect size for a gift card. You can make a genuinely okay looking package out of this. So the first thing you want to do is flatten your toilet paper roll like that. I like to take the edge of a Sharpie or something to kind of burnish down that edge, just to make sure that it's nicely oblong like that. And now what we're going to want to do is kind of fold in the sides a little bit on a curve. It's kind of hard to explain. Let me kind of draw the line on here that I'm going to be folding along. And I know this kind of ruins the look of the gift, especially if we're not going to use wrapping paper or anything on this. So we're going to fold just like that along that dotted line. Like that. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. See? And we're going to repeat that on this side. Obviously, gift wrap cardboard rolls, paper towel rolls work equally well. But it just happens that a toilet paper roll is the perfect size for a gift card. So, once you've got it fully formed and bent, slide your card inside and close up the ends. And you can even tie that off with some ribbon if you like. Now, if you're not going to wrap this, if you're going to go with a plain cardboard, you might want to draw a design on it, do something to make it look, kind of nice. You can do a little bit for it. Let's try something with some ribbon. Okay, so let's take our, again, 2 strands of ribbon. Bring these around. And you can decorate the cardboard with little Christmas tree designs, candy canes, or something to make it a little bit more festive. Not bad for something made from a toilet paper roll. Now, if you want it to look a little bit better than that, we can also take a little piece of wrapping paper. And this time, pretty simple, we're just gonna roll that nice hem. Bring this around and tape it. And I'm just going to fold the paper into the inside of the tube. Like that. And now we can do the same thing that we did before to make our box. There we go. And again, if you wrap that with ribbon, we can make this look not at all like a toilet paper roll. There we go. And you know what? Let's even go so far as to put a mini sticky bow on this one. That does not look like a toilet paper roll anymore. All right. I hope you guys found some of these tips helpful. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs down. That's okay. Not going to hurt my feelings. Subscribe if you have not already. Click the red button down below. When you do, make sure you hit the bell icon so you get a notification every time I have a new video out. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I will see you in the next one.